Hey guys, this is Mr. Design and Create here, broadcasting from Mi Casa to You Casa on YouTube. Alright, as you can see my channel. One thing I want you guys to do before I start this tutorial is, if you could please just subscribe and like. If you haven't already subscribed, it takes like 2 seconds out of your day, and it helps me out to keep promoting videos. I mean, I don't really want to keep doing this, you know, to watch. So please subscribe, give me feedback, stuff like that. Okay, so basically, this next tutorial is going to be for sorry, allergies. For Photoshop CS5 for beginners. I've been getting a lot of requests to do that, a beginning tutorial, so I'm going to do that right now. So open Photoshop CS5. Alright, so let's get down to business. Let's get a couple things straight. CS6 is for beginners at CS6. This is for beginners at CS5. Alright, all the tools are pretty much the same, except there's less. These tools do way less capabilities. The move tool, the marquee tool. If you want to know how to get to them and get the most usage out of Photoshop when you're utilizing these tools, is if you just hold on it at the screen right here, it tells you in abbreviations the letter next to the name of the tool. That is a hotkey. So if I press M, it goes to marquee. If I press V, it goes to that. L goes to lasso, stuff like that. B, brush. O is burn and stuff like that. Right. Now, first things first, you want to set up your Photoshop. Alright, so you go to Edit, you go to Preferences, Performance. This is all, you always want to make sure you do this. And you do it, if you go to Performance, and History Status. This should be at like around 20 when you first have it. You never want it at 20, you always want it at 1000. It'll go 1000 says backwards, 1000 says forwards. This way, if you make any mistake, you have to go all the way back and redo it. Whatever you do, you have that covered. Alright. Leave everything at 3D. Mine, I let it use 100% of my RAM for 3D. All that other stuff. Alright, leave everything alone. But that's the main thing you want to change right now. Transparency and gamut. That is what you see when you start a new layer before you paste anything to it. If you like it at none, leave it at none. It will always be at medium when you have it based. Then you can set up your interface, what it will look like for the sides and stuff like that. That's your coloring. If you want to go to performance, you want to make sure history stats at 1000. You press OK. Then you want to go to window. These are your window open abilities, right? These will pop things up down here, right? So when you want to go to window, you want to have the color wheel up, right? You want to have the layers panel up on the side, right around here. All right. Then you want to click navigator. Navigator will put paste to your window if it's not already open, and these 3 will come with it. Then you want to go to window and you want to press brushes right here, and this, all these 3 will come, and you want to go to window and you want to press, where is it, paragraph. Alright, and then that will pop up. Okay, now let's just start with a couple basic things. Oh, how is that? Alright, simple image. You press File, you press New, you load the image into Photoshop. Voila, image. Yeah, I have the Adidas symbol in the back of my head. Pretty cool. Alright, anyways, simple image, really easy. Alright, and excuse me. Simple image, really easy. You have it loaded. Alright, this V tool, you can move it around, you can do whatever. Press Ctrl-Alt-Z to undo whatever you did. You don't have to always go up and press Edit and press Undo State Change. Alright, you click Brushes, you right click, and you can automatically select your tips, your size, your hardness, your softness. Always use soft touch brush tools when you're painting with stuff. If you're using paint, it's always the best to use with. Other than that, it's user preference once you get better at Photoshop. Okay? So that's just loading in a simple image. A couple things you can do. Let's just say you just wanted this, the Adidas sign, in the picture, nothing else. You can click and drag the marquee tool around the Adidas sign. Press Ctrl-C for copy. Press File, New. It'll go to it. Make sure your resolution is always at 300. Press OK. Press Ctrl-V. Just the Adidas sign. I mean, not just the Adidas sign. My ears are there, but you get the gist of it. Alright, now I got a request thing. You want to make 3D text and stuff like that. So let me get into a little bit of that. Okay, so let's just get into a basic 3D text in CS5. Press the text button down here, the big T. Alright, I have mine set in Minecraft. I was actually making a YouTube background for somebody doing Minecraft. And you just click, make it any color you want, whatever, it doesn't really matter. I'm gonna leave it at green. Alright, you can make it any size you want. You don't have to click this and go down or type it in. I mean, typing in is always more precise, but you can come over and drag it up, and it'll move it. Alright, it'll move the slides. Alright, so get a typing. Alright. 5. So, I made mine say CS5. You don't have to do that at all if you don't want to. Alright, then, after you've done that, you press 3D, and then you click 3D represent object. Now in CS5, you can only do this through text layer, so it can only be through text. CS6, you can do it through anything. Once you press 3D represent object, you press create. Yes, rasterize. It might take a second. My computer's pretty slow right now. Alright, this is the represent window. Okay. These are the shape presets. You can have your shape bend, twist, and create into different patterns. All that stuff, all that jazz. Alright, these are your toolboxes. This is basically your toolbox for when you're in represent mode. This is the most versatile tool in your whole thing. You can hide it, make it smaller, you can actually get rid of it, and then you can go back into settings and open it. This little block, you click and you drag upwards, and it will drag and scale the object itself. Okay? It'll drag the object forward. This red arrow will drag along the x-axis to the horizontally. This will drag along the y-axis back. This will drag along the y-axis up and down. This will drag along the x-axis backwards, depending on which way you're facing. You click, and these little arrows will rotate it upon that axis that it's on. Green, I think, is the z-axis. Anyways, I'm going to turn it this way so you get a perspective view of it. Okay. Then you grab the blue tool right here, the blue ring, and you can bend it forward. It's all of these tools basically combined into one area. You don't have to click on every one unless you're being extremely precise. If you're being extremely precise, go ahead, do that. That's all you. By all means, go do that. Okay. You can change the depth, how much it twists, all to your personal settings, how you want it. But I hate the sides. I don't like the blandness of it. So you go to sides and you can pick all the fabric you want. I have more right here. I'll always click a pen. It'll add it. You don't have to keep switching back and forth. Let me click organic leaf aspen. Ready? Then I don't like the front. I want to make the front more formal, so I go back up and I click wood redwood. Okay. Doesn't even look like that anymore. Doesn't even look like a Minecraft block. Wood. Okay, so now you have your 3D text. Basic 3D text is very easy to do. Sorry, excuse me. Give it a second to load. Alright, so then now you have your basic 3D text, okay? Now, these are just basic rendering options. When you're done, whatever you're editing in 3D text, you go to quality and you go to ray traced final. This will add up the render block. I call it the render block anyways. This thing will scan across the entire screen over and over and over again until it meets the letters. It'll always do the whole page with an object first. Then it'll meet the letters and it'll correct any pixelation, mistake, whatever. It's rendering. That's all it is. It's just called ray trace final in this, but overall it's just rendering. Okay, so when it gets to it, you want to make sure that it's at the best capability. Like, you want to make sure that you want to have your computer running as long as you can. If you're absolutely done and this is the last thing you're doing, you want to make sure that it's as clean cut and as crispy looking as possible when it's finished rendering this. Depending on what type of computer you have and how much RAM you have, rendering will take anywhere from, depending on how much 3D space that you're using, up to from 1 minute to an hour. It can be longer than an hour. One time the power went out when I was doing it, I had to redo it, and it sucked balls. Horrible balls. Smelly ones, actually. So, you can actually see the shadowing. in my Alright, then you want to go back and you want to go edit more. You press the sensors. It'll go back to the regular workspace. And now you have a layer with all the little aspects. Don't unhide it, it'll take too long. Okay. So now let's get into basic brush editing. You can make your own brush itself in Photoshop by just creating a new layer, putting a brush up, a couple brush strokes, right clicking, creating define brush preset, edit, define brush preset, define brush preset. I can make this CS5 right here a brush in itself if I wanted to, but I don't feel like it. Alright, now when you go to your brushes, there's more options from the panel. That's why I had you add it to your window. If you want to make it look texturalized, like dirt, I guess you could say. Well, not dirt, because obviously it's not real dirt. But when you're done, pick one that looks grainy. I'm gonna pick this one. Alright, it's a grainy swoop across it. Change the color to something that matches. You can use the color picker to do that, but then drag it up away from it so it matches more tone-like match, not regular match. Then go to Shape Dynamics, create Size Jitter, make it about 32, Angle Jitter. So change the angle of it, roundness jitter, we'll round it out. Scattering, we'll scatter the image. Now I'm gonna put mine at 1,000 because that's just how I roll. I'm just playing, that was so stupid. Anyways, size, you can make how big the brush is, and then I always put my spacing pretty far out because I don't like it to be busted fucked up in it. It's stupid. Alright, have my spacing good, all set. Alright, I'm gonna make my size of the actual brush itself about 94. Then I'm going to start painting. And all you do is click and drag once, and all of a sudden you have all these speckles around it. You have all these different little speckles. Alright, I mean, this is really easy stuff. Anybody who knows about Photoshop, this should be easy for you guys. Then you want to add, I guess, more aesthetically pleasing. Let's add some drop shadow. You double click on the layer to bring up the layer style options. Alright, then you press drop shadow. You click it, press drop shadow. You can create different opacities, how much big you want it, what angle you want the shadow to be at. You can see how it's shifting with the object itself, but I don't want to do any drop shadow right now. Actually, I want to do an outer glow. Then I want to add drop shadow, add inner glow, and it makes it look more faint. See, now what you can do with the outer glow is you can change the blend mode from screen to any type of these lights. So let's see, like diffusion, it'll make it look different. See how that's, but you can't really tell because it's against a white background. Let me change that. There. Sorry, edit. You can go to fill, shift F5, color. Let's do a dark blue. Yeah, underneath. There you go. Now you get to see the paintbrush's aesthetically pleasing effects. Double click that again. Open that back up. Then you have bevel and emboss, and that'll just change it all in total. You can add contour to it. You can do a lot of things. Now, here's a really nifty tool. If you want to see it up close, you don't want to see it out here, you press navigate. You can use this tool right here, which is the zoom tool. It'll zoom in. Well, I guess we'll zoom out. Common sense, but I use the navigator. It's best for traversing. And now you get to see that actually has a leafy pattern in it, a grainy leafy pattern. This itself is bevel and embossed, and this looks like dirt or flaming, I guess, speck. I mean, it's aesthetically pleasing. It doesn't have to be amazing. I mean, it's just basic layer placement and stuff like that. But you get the gist of it. So there you go, guys. That's a couple basic things on Photoshop. If you guys have any more requests, hit me up. Mr. Design and Create out.